I'm Drew McAuliffe. The company is MoPix, and I'm the CTO. And we basically work on allowing you to basically deliver video content through apps, sort of what we've been starting to call the post-DVD experience. We started working with an independent filmmaker and was looking to kind of create an app around his film, and we kind of realized pretty quickly, each of us in one way or another has ties to the film industry or independent film or entertainment in general, and we realized it would be pretty easy to kind of commoditize this. There's other sort of app building tools out there, but they're sort of focused on creating general purpose apps, or some of them are focused more towards, say, the music industry, streaming audio, or real-time social feeds and things like that. And that wasn't our focus. We realized that there's a need for having video content that was deliverable via the mobile platform, and specifically via apps. And the advantage that apps give us is that we can take all that stuff that's sort of been dying and falling out of DVDs, and we're able to go ahead and put all that stuff back on there in a more sort of interactive or just more interesting way. So things like information about the film, where you can kind of click through and browse through in a way that's a little bit easier than trying to fumble through with the remote on your DVD player. Having behind the scenes footage, outtakes, all those kind of things that traditionally were kind of lumped into the second or third disc of a DVD. We're trying to put all that together into one sort of seamless app experience. But the key is not just doing an app like that, because you could pay someone a lot of money to do a custom app. I mean, people do it all the time. Some films have it done for them. The problem is it's all custom development, it's all kind of bespoke development, and it's expensive. And so we figured that there would be a way to go ahead and make it so that we put together a platform that will allow the people who want to get the content out to not worry about app development, but just worry about delivering their content. Ryan, our CEO, and I had worked together on a number of different ventures, we'd worked. He had co-founded a company called Hooray, and I worked with him on a number of major projects through there, and we worked well together, and we had a bunch of other ideas, and we were actually up in the Bay Area for something. We were pitching a contract or something like that, and we were having drinks and just started talking about, thinking about, well, I was talking about, this really, as an app, this is a very simple thing. I mean, you could pull this out and let people plug their things into it pretty easily. You could basically create a thing that would allow you to just kind of swap the content and maybe tweak a couple settings like colors and all that kind of stuff. Not just doing individual apps, but like actually treating it like a platform. I'm down in LA, I lived in San Francisco for a long time, and this is kind of my first extended stay up in Portland. It's a great town. I love how walkable it is, and what's great about here is how psyched everyone is about Portland and just about the sort of development scene. And so it seems to me there's a lot of like commingling of all these different startup-y groups and startups and stuff like that. And so it's nice being a part of that community and having feedback and input from people. And just the group here has just been so good about helping us make introductions with people, or thinking about things that we didn't think about, and but also thinking about applications for what we're doing that may move beyond what we had originally thought about. I mean, over time we've grown from thinking of just a way to get filmmakers their films out to just really kind of thinking in a broader scope about just video in general, and just the need for things, talking with the people at Pi about some of the needs for some of the brands like Coca-Cola and Target and stuff like that, and being able to come up with ways to potentially distribute mobile training content and all kinds of other internal content, whether firewalled or what have you, so that those brands have a way to kind of get their video content out that maybe might not be so consumer facing, but there's still a need to kind of get, kind of churn that stuff out. Hire the right people, make sure they're people that you can trust, and I don't mean that in the sense of trust with your money, I mean the sense of you can trust to get the job done. Don't be cheap with that. Don't try to think you can just get someone in early on. You can't. You need people. You need people that are self-motivated, that are used to working with us, whether it's an entrepreneurial spirit, or they're used to being a contractor by themselves, where they can self-direct, and you don't need to be. You can't. At this stage, as a startup, you can't manage people the way you can in a company. You know what I mean? You have to have people who you can direct and show and steer, but you have to have people that can manage themselves on like a task basis. and you need people that can just do good work and do it quickly.